Friends, good evening to everybody. On behalf of Higher Education Forum and SIA School of Learning, we extend a very hearty welcome to all of you for this first webinar of the year 2026. And this is on a very important topic, and that's AI and research, its application to the research. Many of us are already using AI in research and other teaching methodologies, but we thought that we will have an exclusive session on the AI and the research by a very expert in this area. That is Dr. Punit Pathak. Dr. Punit was with us about, I think, 1.5 years before on a similar topic, and it was highly appreciated by everybody. The recordings are also available with us. So we thought that we will once again invite Dr. Punit Pathak to refresh some of the ideas he shared with us during that particular topic and maybe a little bit beyond that. So this is going to be a 2-hour session, 1 hour today, 7 to 8 o'clock. We are already late by 2-3 minutes. And then tomorrow again, once again from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. We request all of you to kindly attend both the sessions in order to get a total glimpse of this particular topic. Otherwise, partial attendance may not make much of a sense. A couple of words about Dr. Punit. Dr. Punit is a very distinguished faculty, a very young faculty, but at the same time, very distinguished faculty. He has got a lot of expertise in the area of AI and the research. He has written quite a few number of papers in the Scopus Index journals. He is assistant professor in the School of the Liberal Arts and the Human Sciences in the Oro University, Surat. Particularly the area of the liberal arts, the humanities, the business communication. That's his area of specialization, but he has done a lot of cross-functional work. He has done a lot of teacher development program, and is an excellent resource person as far the this particular topic goes. So on behalf of all of you, I extend once again a very hearty welcome to Dr. Punit and hand over the floor to him. Dr. Punit, the floor is open to you.
Thank you so much, sir. I hope I'm audible to all of you, and good evening from my end as well to everyone, and welcome to this webinar. First of all, I thank the forum and the organizing committee for having me, sir. And I think since we're already late by, I think, 3-4 minutes, I'll very quickly jump right away into the session. So I'll share some insights which I have gained over, and I'd like to call it experimentation, by experimenting with AI over the last few years. In the two very distinctive areas they work on are teaching and research. So I'll be trying to show you some of the platforms that we have. I'm sure these are some of the platforms that some of us may already be using or may have heard of. And if not, then we'll of course have a round of discussion on as well. Sir, just a small request from my end. So this is going to be a hands-on demo. While I am doing the demo, it is possible that my bandwidth might be shared between the screen and the tools. So I will be turning the camera off for the duration. I hope that is fine as I move ahead. Okay, I think we are good to go. So let me share my screen with everyone and let's get started. Okay. I hope my screen is visible to all. If
Yeah,
anybody can let me know.
visible.
Yes, perfect. Perfect. So I'll be trying to cover as many of platforms as we can in these 2 days of the webinar. And the way that usually we talk about AI in research, particularly when I try to discuss them, is in the process in which we take the flow of a research project that we normally try to do. So when I say the term research, I'm talking about right from a paper or let's say some or a book chapter, something as big as a very large project also. So these are tools that are useful at various stages of the same. So let me just move ahead with it. Just a second. Let me hide this. Oh, I think now it will be better. So our first platform for today is something which is freely accessible, which means that it's not a premium version. We don't require any kind of a payment to be done to access this platform. And I'll show you the website first. Yeah. So this is the portal. It's called Open Knowledge Maps. And what I'll do is by tomorrow, I'll make a list of all the platforms that I'm able to cover in these 2 days and I'll share them with the organizing committee and with Sir on the chat box as well. So you can try them out also. So now open knowledge maps basically, as the title suggests, allows us to create a visualization of any topic, idea, or any area in which we want to begin our study from. So the way I like to talk about using open knowledge maps is basically to narrow down our field of search and to help us organize all the topics or subtopics and all the trends that are available in that by using this one platform. Now, Open Knowledge Maps has done some really interesting work when it comes to organizing of information. And before we can start using the platform, I would always recommend to read through their vision and mission and the kind of work that they're doing and the kind of collaborations that they are having, as you can see on the screen right now. Platform itself is very simple to use. What we get is we get a search window like this, where what we have to do is we simply have to select our discipline or area. Open knowledge maps allows us to work with two options. For any kind of a life science domain, we have the connectivity to the PubMed repository. And for all other disciplines, that is humanities, social sciences, etc., we have what they call as base. And if you notice, when I switch over between the two of them, the suggestions are also updating according to that. And there is a detailed search that we can do by clicking on refine the search option, which also allows us to limit or delimit our search according to the time frame or relevancy and recentness of the document, as well as the kind of studies that we want to include or exclude from the entire list as per our requirement. So what we do is by default, we go to base that is selected and we simply enter the topic or the area, the broader subject discipline or the domain that we want to work with and we simply click on. So now, depending on a few factors like the internet connectivity, the load on the server side of open knowledge maps, etc., it will take a few seconds, and then on the basis of that, it will give us an output once the bar is finished. And while it does that, it also shows us how it is working. So it basically will create a map for us, which will be quite interactive in nature, and it will allow us to visualize all the subtopics and the relevant documents around the same area that we have looked for by collating them together in one single page. So this is the output that we get once we come to open knowledge maps. And as we can see it on the top left corner right here, it says that it has found 100 most relevant documents on the basis of the two keywords that I have looked for, which is digital humanities as an example. Now, on the left panel here, what it does is it creates these sorts of circular Venn diagram structures wherein it shows us the accumulation of all the documents pertaining to one single area, which have some overlaps between them, and it allows us to navigate them according to the said area. For example, let's say if my area or topic of research or the study that I want to do further is digital humanities, tools, etc. So based on those keywords, when I click on it, it allows me to go inside the space or the circle that is representing that particular domain. And if I want to move out back again, it's very easy. All I need to do is click anywhere outside of the circle and it will bring me back to the previous home screen or sort of the previous page where all the circles are visible. And we notice that the moment when I'm clicking inside on any of these circles, the search bar on the right is also accordingly getting updated. Now, talking about the left side of the panel, we notice that we have a set of documents with the titles and the names of the authors. And there are two kinds of document types that we have, which are also corresponding to the panel on the right. So on the left, the ones which have this green unlocked icon here on the top represents the fact that that particular document is available under the open access category and it is accessible by looking at the or finding the corresponding title of the document on the right side of the panel. So for example, if I see the first one, when we come to the right panel, we get quite a bit of information. We first get to know whether the document, article, etc., or paper is available in open access category or not. We also get to see the type of that document with its DOI link, its title, its names of the authors, and a brief overview as to what it is about, along with the area in which it has been grouped together in that particular search query that we have done. Apart from that, for the ones that have this open access category available, we can simply click on the PDF option, where by clicking on it, two kinds of outputs usually come. One is this first possible. Somebody's mic is on. I saw somebody said something. Oh. One is this first option, which allows us to view the document, or in this case, the paper or the article right here on the portal of Open Knowledge Maps itself, where I can read it from here if I want to, or let's say if I want to download this, I can download it using this button right here, which will download a copy of the same for me. So this is one possibility of the output style that occurs. The second possibility is, let's hope it happens, where what it does, typically, okay, now this one also is opening right here. If that link doesn't open directly, what it does is it gives us a text message, or it displays a message saying that there we go, this is the second possibility. We are not able to retrieve the PDF on the screen. It instead will direct us to a hyperlink. And by doing so, we are usually brought to the website or the location where a copy of that paper or document or article can be found, where I can download it from this location. So, but again, just to reiterate, this is possible only for those papers or articles which have the option of open accessibility linked alongside them. So that is one very important distinction between the documents that have the symbol on the top versus the ones which do not have that. So let's say if I click on this one, what it does is, and that's the case with any of these documents, even this one, when I click on it, it takes me inside the document itself, where even before trying to access the document or trying to access a copy of the paper, we get an overview which sort of tells us what exactly is the paper or the document about. So then, on the basis of that, we can make a slightly little bit of an informed decision as to whether this is something that is going to be useful for my study or my area. Or same thing happens with the non-open access documents as well. The only difference is we do not get the PDF link here. Uh, Provided, of course, if we have the accessibility to the repository where this paper is located, we can always access it directly from there. So that's the first major point of output, which was it. And after that, let's say that if I navigate back to the main page, we also have these two other options where by clicking on the first one. Now, this is something which I hope they update soon. They have included this functionality, but I think they need to update the versions of the same. So by clicking on any one particular document, it allows us to have a initial first version of what the actual text citation would look like if I wanted to cite it according to these four styles. That is APA, MLA, Chicago, and ACM. And if I want to, let's say, copy paste this somewhere, I think somebody raised a hand. Or if there's a question, we can of course take them towards the end. Please feel free to post your questions in the chat box. I will take them up as we move ahead. Okay. So after clicking on APA, I can click on the copy button. It will automatically copy this, post which we can come back to any file that we are working or editing on, and we can simply paste it anywhere we want to. So let's say, for example, like this. And we can also make it a part of our resources that you're managing and take it forward from there. So in this way, we can switch between these four styles as of now. I hope they add more styles soon. One very important thing is that then the open knowledge maps as a platform tells to us also that it is very important to check the exact formatting of this output that it has generated for us before putting it anywhere. So manual checking of the exact formatting is very important because ultimately at the end of the day, it is generating it on the metadata that it has received from the paper, and there might be some small minute errors here or there, and its correction is absolutely important. But it does give us this initial draft to get started with. So in this manner, we can gain a set of accessibility by linking all the spaces together and get a head start on narrowing down or trying to see what sort of functionalities of various subtopics are coming together under any area or domain that you are looking at. So that is the first very quick platform which I wanted to show to you. Apart from that, we can also have these two options on the top where we can also sort of filter the results according to, let's say, by the list of authors, by its year of publication and its relevancy. That is the default option and the title. And then we can also have the option of only choosing those documents which are available in the open access category, thereby filtering out those results automatically. Now, this particular list is for the entire set of documents that are available in this output right here. So it's not in any one particular circle that we are talking about right now because we are on the main screen, but rather the entire circle itself. And by clicking on just including the open access ones, we have removed the ones which are from this side of the screen, that is. We have not included the ones which are not available in the open access category. So the list has gone down from 100 to 68, I think, as we can see here on the top. And from here, the next step, obviously, is to so let's say once I have narrowed down my field of search or have sort of gotten a start on how I want to take my topic or area forward, the next important bit is to try to find out information about what are the important places where generally experts or scholars try to go to in terms of trying to publish contemporary findings or papers or articles for the said topic or the said area. And my next platform is to help us with that, which I wanted to show. Another good thing about this next platform also is that it is also free to use. We don't have any sign up or anything like that that we have to do. And this is the next bit. I mean, this tool is good in terms of stop, trying to continue the work where Open Knowledge Map stops. It lets us connect all of these documents together, but it doesn't give us any more insights apart from that. It doesn't tell us, let's, for example, which are the top authors who are working in this area, which are the top scholars who are working on that. What are the various places or institutes which can be looked upon if, let's say, I want to access the repositories, and if I want to come to that particular topic. So for that, we have another platform, and very quickly, let me slide over to that, and we'll come to that as well. So again, this is a tool which has been around for quite some time, and this is the platform. It is called as Insightful, and as we can see, there is no option of signing up anywhere in the entire platform. We have no way of signing it. That's because it doesn't ask for it. So what we do is we come to the website. It's called insightful.xyz, and we get two sections here. So the left panel, for example, is called as the paper connector. Sorry, the right panel is called as the literature connector, and the left panel is called as the paper finder or the paper discovery. So this is the paper discovery, and this is the literature connector, and they both have different functionalities. And let's say if I am opening or seeing this platform for the first time, and if I want to understand what exactly the platform is doing, they have made the website or the portal in such a manner that it's very easy to do so from right here. I mean, I would suggest or recommend reading through this section at least so that we get an idea about how it is working. For example, this rest of the part can be read. The main section is right here. It says the paper discovery tool helps us build a network of papers from citations and uses this mechanism to analyze the networks and give us information to get us quickly up to speed on any topic. And it does all the things that I said it will do, which is to find the most similar papers from the same topic that I look for. Important papers in the same area, contemporary as well as important authors and institutions, and many more things that we'll see as we go ahead. So all of this it can do. And literature connected, on the other hand, is primarily intended, as per the insightful statement, for interdisciplinary scholars trying to bridge two domains. What the way it works is it allows us to look for two different papers put together in those two search bars. We'll try that, and to give us an interactive visualization as to how they're connected by literature. So how commonly found citations between both of them, somewhere in the entire network overlaps them, and which then helps us find more papers as we go ahead. And this is still something that's under development, and hopefully it becomes fully available soon. So let's come back to the top. We'll start with the left panel first. Now, here, as we can see, it is giving us a sort of a suggestive prompt saying that we can search according to the title of the paper, the DOI link, or the URL, as long as that particular document is available in the database of Insightful, it will pull up that. In case I don't have that and all I have is a set of keywords, we can just get a start by typing them in the search window. But this tool works slightly differently. So what happens is the moment when I enter the search query here, it gives me a set of results. Now, these can be papers or books also. And when I select any of those, let's say select this one, it takes a few seconds and automatically jumps to a new screen. And these are all the results that we get. So, for example, this is the basic information about our paper. I am doing this tool so that we know what each tool section of the tool is doing. Where we have basic information like how many times it has been cited by different papers in this portal, its year of publication, whether it has open access or not, total number of papers that have gone in the creation of this graph that we see here. We'll come back to that in a second. Total number of citations that are found in the graph, etc. The general statistics of the paper, fact about the graph that we created. Then comes the next bit, which I'll come back to that in a second. Uh, Insightful also has somebody's mic is on. Can I please mute? I'm not able to see the screen, so I will not be able to transition between the two. Thanks. Insightful also lets us navigate between two different forms of filter, where we can also filter according to the distance of the graph itself and by entering keywords. However, this is one functionality which works slightly better with another platform, which I will be showing as we go ahead if time permits today, or if not, then tomorrow. So, means for now, what we do is we come to the graph and we go inside the graph itself. We have Susan, and let's just take a look at the names of the authors. So this is the primary central document that we have selected. And once I go inside, we can see the connectivity between various different documents that are connected to each other. And as the platform mentions, it does so by looking at the commonly cited documents that are found between all of them. And we also have a timeline legend here, which shows us that the earliest document which has been found in this entire network of search has been from 1997 up until I think they have to update the latest database, but they should be doing that within the next 2 or 3 months. The latest it has found is as late as 2020. Now, by itself, this graph is interactive. If I click on any of these nodes or the papers, it will come back to that and show me the connectivity between my originally selected file and the other node that I have clicked on. And this is how the second part of the portal works, which is the literature connector. I'll come to it in a few minutes. And it also shows us the papers that are commonly citing all of or have commonly referred to both of them together. So this becomes a really good way to sort of, find a connectivity between various different thematic strands across all of them. But the key piece of information which I really find useful and insightful is not this graph, even though it is quite useful in use and practice, but it's this next bit which is really useful. On the basis of all of this information, it ends up giving us these kind of lists that we talked about in the beginning. So, for example, we have similar papers which are similar to the primary document that we selected. We have a similarity score, a year of publication, and the title, which also has the name of the author. And in this way, we get a long list of similar documents, which if I click on save, allows me to download it as a BibTeX file, which I can import anywhere to a software that supports that platform, or directly allows me to connect it to Mendeley as well as Zotero. There are a few steps to follow. For this, we can directly connect both the platforms. And the list is very long. Usually, it returns about 3 to 4 pages worth of results. And we see that it basically gives us this detailed set of documents or a very large collection of papers which can be used as a reference when we are getting started with our process of reviewing them or what we call as literature review. So this is the first category. And similar papers, as it says right here, cites the same papers as the one we have selected. So generally, the way that this list is created is that it will try to look for more contemporary documents in the area or the field from which my primary document has been referred to or selected from. So that's why it titles them as similar papers, or they are included in this list. Then this section on the left is what is called what Insightful likes to call it as the most important papers, where they are usually older papers or documents which are classified as most important according to the number of times they've been cited. And even though they say papers, it can be usually both. It may also include long form texts like books also. Yeah. And we have this again 5 page worth of list that we can see in review. The one major thing which I feel they could have done is that they could have let us download this as like let's say as an Excel or a Word file. They don't let us do that. There are two ways around this. One is for to take a screenshot of this and save it somewhere, or else manually copy paste it like I am doing right now, so that the reference list remains with us in case we want to, come back to it and refer to it whenever we require it. But for now, at least we can, what we need to do is we need to do it manually. So in the similar manner, on the right, what happens is that like this section talks about the most important papers here. This one, on the other hand, says that this list is comprising of papers that have the highest number of papers that are being cited from this graph right here. And that is why there is a higher probability that Insightful gives to us saying that there's a high likelihood, as it says right here, that these are review papers in the same area that we have started out with, or the same area or domain to which our primary document belongs to. So that is something that's very useful. I mean, not all of them will be absolute review papers, but it tries to collate all such documents together which have a higher probability of being a review paper in itself. Apart from that, we also have this list here. On the left, we have the recent papers by what we consider to be the top 100 authors in the area. This list is also created according to the number of times the authors' names are being mentioned in the database of Insightly. And similar to that, we also have the most important recent papers, same process, whereby we can transition between these various pages for both of them. And then this list is something which I find really useful, especially if we want to move into that next step or the next direction of trying to connect with uh, people who are already working in this area, so who have worked in this area before. So on the left here we have a list of what Insightful likes to call as top ranking authors in this network of the graph, and these are the authors whose papers have been included in this list, who have added papers to this area most recently. And then comes perhaps the most important out of all of these, which is these two sections right here, which gives us a list of top journals which can be considered either for approaching in terms of trying to, send our projects there or maybe trying to find further elements of literature review there. And also journals similar to the ones that are given in the top journal category as well. And then similar to that, we also have this institution lists right here, which are supposed to be most relevant. Not this, sorry, let me zoom out. Yeah, that's the institutions which tries to the section which tries to identify the top institutions in the network of the graph that we are showing. So while open knowledge maps lets us delimit our top, this one allows us to build on top of that and see what are these various segments that are coming together and build up a base from which our literature review can actually begin. And this is the first bit. Now, the second bit, which was on the right, which was insightful seeds to connect. I know this usually works for those two areas which have some direct overlap between them. For example, if let's say I try to find two texts which are sort of overlapping with each other. Let me see if I can find something very quickly. And maybe let's say this one. And here I will put, since this seems to be on digital history, let's see what it finds here. Oh, maybe this one. Now, of course, usually a lot more thought would go into how do we think about connecting two areas or two papers separately. But what I'm trying to show is the functionality as to how the platform works. So again, we have the basic info about our two papers. We can change them or edit them if we want to from here, right? We can update it in real time if we want to change the primary documents. Then we also have the general statistics about how they're connected, the visualization of how the entire papers are connected to each other. So this is the entire connectivity between them and all the papers that we see here that connects both of them together in terms of being directly or indirectly cited somewhere in the entire network. And we close this specifically. It sometimes happens. Let me skip it. Yeah. After that, we have a similar kind of an output that we got from earlier, but this time what we guessed is just a list of documents which are included here in this entire network. So thereby letting us save a lot of time in terms of trying to see the interconnectivity between various different. And in this manner, we are able to do quite a bit when it comes to, getting a start on where to get or where to go in terms of the direction about getting started with the electricity. And from here, the third step is to try to look for a platform which allows us to see if we can have any kind of a useful insight by using a tool which can help us in the process of doing coming up with a draft of a literature review. Now, I am very clear on this. I'm not saying that we are looking for a tool which writes the review for us. What I'm saying is that what if there is a platform which eventually makes the process of drafting the review easier for us as end users of this process. So there, I came across very recently this platform, which is I was very surprised by it, and it's still in the experimental mode. So let me just show you very quickly what it looks like. This is the platform right here. And interestingly, it's an experiment out of Stanford University. And this is the portal. It's already open here. I have already logged in into it. We require we are required to log in into the platform using our Google account. It's very easy to do. And it is called Storm. And if you see, this is the URL. Let me show you the homepage actually. That will be better because they have a lot of interesting information that they're talking about as far as move to the platform itself. So this is the our homepage. What we do is we click on sign in. and it will bring us directly to our Google sign in section. This is how Storm works. And there are two functionalities within Storm. The first one is the Storm functionality, which, when given a prompt or asked a question, will create a format of an article, the kind of which we would find in platforms like Wikipedia, and gives us an output on the basis of that and gives us a report after that. And then there is another feature inside of it, which is called as post storm, which is the second bit right here, where within the process of conversation itself, the various bots that are working inside of it would take up various personas, as we see right here on the screen, which is depicted diagrammatically. And we can also become a participant in the conversation. And it creates pre-created prompts for us, which helps us gain more insights into the safe topic. So let's look at the platform now. What we do is we come to the portal once we have logged it, and it's very minimalistic, again, very easy to use. And for now, it supports English as a language. What we do is we can change the mode from here if you want to. Storm, post storm. This is something they've added new. I'll come back to that. Let's begin with Storm first. And currently, they have given accessibility to Google as the only search engine. Hopefully, they will add others as time moves ahead. Now, all we do is we simply add our topic. Let's say I have delimited my topic to something like this, maybe role of patient managers in literature. And as we can see, it also gives us some indicative suggestions as it moves ahead. But I think that is something that they need to work on because the suggestions usually don't match the topic that we have entered here. Now, it will take a few seconds. It actually takes some time. We have to uh, wait for a bit before it starts generating. And while it generates, I'll show you another portal parallelly. It takes some time to generate. And we can see what all it is doing as we speak. It is browsing to the topic and it is going to understand the keywords that we have given to it and then collect all the information that it can on the basis of it and then finally give us the output out of it. So these are the sites it is browsing in real time as we speak. You can see the list is pretty long. And on the basis of this, it will create the final report or the final output for us. So as it says right here, it can take up 3 minutes. Let me stop or let me delete the extra tabs so that we get a fast output. While it is doing that, let me very quickly show you another platform. And this one is while we're talking about AI and research and use of AI in research, this one I usually show because in case let's say we are getting a start on the topic or the project that we are doing research on, and we don't know where to look for papers from, right? And we want to access open access documents. There are multiple websites like this. This is one of them, and this is quite useful. I'll show you two of them. In fact, you can decide which one you would like to go to. This is the first one. It's called Paper. Why I like this is because of its interface and the way it allows us to search or hunt for documents. Very minimal interface, no login required. All I need to do is type in my topic here. Let's say this again, same example. Now, sometimes this search button doesn't work when I click on with the mouse, like right now. You have to press enter for it. It takes a few seconds, and on the once it goes through this process, it will start generating the output for us. Let's see. Okay, we are while it is generating in the back, we have this output right here. So we can see that it has generated this detailed output for us with these links that we see right here. This is the storm bit, right? And at the end of it, okay, that bit I think will come with the download part. So we'll come to that. Let's say if I want to see what process it did, I can click on see the brainstorming process. So this is what it did. It shows us the entire process of conversation like we would have with a bot normally before generating the output. So this is what happened in the backend. These are the four functionalities it has undertaken while trying to you know, get this output for us. And after that, I have this PDF option right here, which I can click on, which lets me download this file. There is a pre-created table of contents. And then at the end of it, if I remember correctly, we should be having what I'm looking for. There we go. These are the references that has browsed through while creating this output for us. Why, of course, as I said earlier, this is not supposed to replace the process of writing of the review part, but it definitely gives us a head start on trying to look into various directions where the said topic can go in. So this is the first functionality of Storm. And the second one was post Storm, which I can easily change the mode from here. This is what, as the name suggests, it's a roundtable conversation. I will do the same again. Let's just enter the topic. It will again, it might take a few seconds, hopefully. Yeah, so it will take a few minutes. And while it does that, let me come back to platform paper reading. Once we have entered our query right here, it will give us this list of documents that it finds on the basis of the keywords that I've entered. Very simple. And whichever document I find relevant, all I need to do is click on it. And on the basis of that, I will get an overview here. And just below that, no matter whichever link I click on, I will get a direct link to the document or paper, or that, which I can access or save from here. And since this is an aggregator of open access papers, we can access them directly from here itself. And as I said earlier, the best part that I like about this platform is this bit right here, where it not only allows us to get a set of results on the basis of a specific time period or year. So if I click on this, we will notice that the list is updated and now we would only have documents. Okay, I think I need to do one. Wait one second. Yeah, now it is doing it. Sometimes the platform is slightly slow in terms of responding, but now the list would be updated and now we would only be having documents between 24 to 2020. So no document before 2020, no none after. Earlier we had till 25. Now we can see they are restricted to 2024. In a similar manner, we also have the option to filter the results according to specific journals, specific languages, and they will have more languages, country of origin of the document. Most importantly, the specific publisher in case if we want that to be, one form of filtering the results. So let's say if there are only a set of publishers which I'm looking for. So let's say, for example, only in the US, just a random example I'm selecting, and we should be getting an output right away. Yeah, it is taking a few seconds. This one is also ready. We'll come back to that in just a second. Yeah. So now there are two filters in place. One is the according to the year of publication, and second is the publisher. We have selected one. So now all that you would have available is documents according to these two criterias only. So let's click on it. Actually, it gives us the output very soon. Then we'll move ahead. And apart from that, we also have the final filter, which is regular papers, that is research papers or articles. And gray papers are typically papers published in newspapers or magazines. That's what the description of paperity says if you go in the about section. This is a description that I found there. When I first came across the platform, I was trying to understand what's the differentiation for paperity between regular and gray papers. So this is the document right here. And again, I can read it right here itself, or I can download it if I want. So that's the one extra platform which I thought I should share. It's called Paperity. And coming back to the Storm platform, this is what the roundtable conversation looks like. So before coming to this, let's see the topic or background conversation that has taken place, where it has assumed these different personas and has started a conversation on this topic, which I wanted to see. And if I want to get this further, I can click on generate. And after that, I would be able to join the conversation also. So now what it does basically is that after it has found all those papers that we are looking at, see right now, for example, it is browsing for each prompt. It goes back to all those resources that it can find and let's just join the conversation after that. I think let's hope it comes. Okay. First, then you can pick up some questions. We are almost, and we have 10 more minutes to go. Let me just, yeah, new conversation fetched. And in this way, we can keep on generating. So it's basically a very good example of how thoughts interact with each other and what insights do they derive on a topic. And yeah, the last bit. And this is the copy of a second article generated from that conversation. So this is not our previous output that we saw. Let me see if I can find. Okay, I think this is the one. So this was the one that we generated with the storm example. The role of DH in literature represents so and so, whereas this one you can see is starting from the historical context. And again, we would have all the, so let's say click on the PDF button right here. I can download a copy of this also. And this will be slightly more longer in terms of its length, especially the references. It refers to more references because it's basically trying to enact a conversation between two parts. So these are some of the insights that I was able to share with you in the time frame that was given to me. I don't know if this has been useful. I hope so. I These are platforms that have been available for quite some time, so I am sure many of us may have used them before. So let me stop sharing my screen and we'll quickly come back over to the questions. So thank you so much for listening to me patiently, and we'll try to look at a bit more tomorrow. I will try to focus more on the writing bit and interacting with documents bit as well. So, but in the meantime, if you have any questions, the forum is open. Feel free to put your questions in the chat box, or maybe I think to unmute also. I don't know if that is possible. Uh, yeah. So if you have any questions or any comments, please feel free to put them in the chat box. Is there a way to filter review article or research article in paper 80? No. That is one function that paper 80 doesn't have. But it lets filter between gray papers, that is articles in magazines and newspapers, and regular articles. And that functionality is not available. That will come in the next tool, which I will show tomorrow. And I'm going to start with that. That will have that. Right? So we'll continue from here on. But this one doesn't have. Okay, let me very quickly put on my video as well. So yeah, yes. Can you link these articles directly with either Zotero or Mendeley? It does. You can do that with Insightful, I think, as I have shown, not with paper. So specific platforms have those functionalities. The others which I show tomorrow, again, they will have those. Insightful does that. Uh, let's see any other questions. Is there any limitation on number of sources or number of topics in a day? No, not. I think you are. I think the question is about. No, I don't think so. There's no limitation on that. And in case if there is any limitation which to put into place, as I said, we still have tomorrow's session left. So there I show two tools which don't have any such limitations at all. So that will take care of. Thank you. Yes, any other questions?
Yeah, any further question? We have another 5 minutes to go.
If any of you have tried using this platform before, you can also mention that and what has been the experience. I think even that will be good. Get the discussion going. Last questions, if anything.
Any questions?
Uh, sir, can you just name the first platform once more?
Sorry, ma'am, I could not catch your question. Can you
I
repeat
just
it?
want to know the name of the first platform you were using today.
Open knowledge maps.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'll put the names of all the tools I have discussed in the chat box. Let me just give me a second. You can continue with the questions I'm typing them. We can go ahead and have more questions also as I type. I'll put up all three of them, all four of them rather, in the chat box as well. Okay, I've done that, and yeah, they will be available. Any other questions? All right, so I don't think we have any further questions that I can
A-
see.
Any other question? Okay, if there is no other questions, Dr. Puneet, thank you very much. And I think we'll come back tomorrow evening at the sharp at the same time, 7 o'clock. And request all of you to please come back tomorrow at 7 o'clock to get a full glimpse of the discussion. And tomorrow there'll be more question answers at the end of the
Yeah,
session.
I can see one very quickly. Storm and CoStorm are two different functionalities in the same platform. Storm directly gives you that output that we saw in terms of the review task, and CoStorm creates a roundtable discussion between various different bots inside of the same. Yeah. All right, so yes, over to you.
Yeah. So thanks a lot. And see you tomorrow once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.